Caster, Maniac, a half-demon shaman clad in revealing robes. This servant is for players who want to be challenged by facing true adversity in battle. Hello everyone, my name is Kirishiraga and welcome back to Fade Extra. I'm not gonna go over the last part thing, considering the fact I just got done recording all of Saber's parts for this, and I quite frankly can't really remember, but I remember in the last part, we finished the prologue at the game. We basically finished the prologue at the game. And I'm just saying what I remember. So we finished the prologue at the game, and now we are doing Caster's Sign. I've already recorded all the Sabers, and those should be going, and the first 3 parts of those should be going up soon. The first 3 parts of this, I have no clue when these are going to go up. These may go up sooner. After Sabers haven't already done for the first week, or not. But yeah. Well, you may not know what I mean by the first week, but we'll know soon enough. Anyways, let's partner with the servant. Where's the belfry? In that moment, gentle days end. Zero days remaining, so here we go. Oh god, I forgot audio pops, just like in my other episodes. I always awaken very abruptly. I don't even think I dream. I suddenly find myself walking to school. My headache worsens day by day until it finally buzzes in my head like an alarm. That day, impotent numbness, I wake up twice as fast as normal. I walk to the schoolyard. It's clear and cloudless, 7:30 a.m., but what season is it? When I try to recall what season it is, I start to get so dizzy I almost pass out. I may wind up back in bed if I let go and faint. For some time, I have been embracing a rush of useless information. The novel stuff you'd see at school, like the hustle and bustle of my classmates by the entrance. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. When I push a thought, my field of vision fizzles. Today, there's a crowd of students miling in front of the school gate, and more are being directed that way. As to what's going on, there's a boy in a black uniform in front of the school gate. He's my friend, as I recall. He's Issei Ryudo, as I recall. I remember this from the first time. When Issei notices me looking at him, he pushes through the crowd. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month the student council would strictly enforce school rules. He went to his spiel as if this was the first time he'd ever disclosed the information. I already know this. I know it. I already know what happens. It's happened more than once. I'm seized by a headache. I'm so dizzy I feel like I'm forcibly being logged out of my conscious. First, let me check your student ID. I shouldn't need to remind you, but it should be on you at all times. My login ID is being checked. It's so obvious now. I answer clearly to the question that usually makes me go dizzy. So, for people who don't know already, or haven't seen Saber's side yet, or haven't bothered, I am doing female main character with Saber here. So, in response, I am doing male protag here, and female, and with Caster. So, and of course, I'm gonna spell my name properly, hopefully. So Kyoshi Rauga. Alright. Let's confirm. And well, okay, so when I've been playing Fade Extra CCC, I made my nickname just Kyo. I guess that's okay. Great, there's no telling when an emergency might occur, and it will be a help for you to have your ID. I feel nauseous, and I know it has nothing to do with what I ate for breakfast this morning. I feel nauseous because of the world around me. It's repeating itself over and over, and that's what's making me sick. Now for the uniform expression. Color, check. Pet hems, check. And your socks, check. I want him to get out of my way. I want this repetition to stop. I push him aside and go forward. I'm not nice about it either. Looks at the contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box, not even a whiff of contraband. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to mention this on this side, but you notice how everyone is grayed out. Yeah. Ugh. Your nails are evenly cut, and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model seeking me out an academy student. He keeps talking loudly, even though he's facing no one. I have a headache. I'm shivering. I know one thing for sure. This is wrong. This is not the school I know. It can't be. I have to go. I have to hurry and wake up, or else it'll be too late. But who am I awakening for? Here we are again with this. Well, for me at least. My anxiety and headaches are only getting worse. Afternoon arrives while I desperately try to find a way to escape this bizarre situation. As is the norm, my vision is overlaid with some kind of an unnatural distortion. Uneasiness, futility, emptiness. I want someone to explain to me the true nature behind these feelings. There must be a key somewhere, something that will have the answers to all my questions. It's my side to see. Inside the desk is a bunch of random textbooks, random junk, and a Mr. Tittles plushie. I have no clue what that's referencing, if that's referencing something. The moment I step foot on the first floor, my feelings of unease intensify. There's a student wearing a red uniform, Leo, the new transfer student. The instant I lay eyes on him, I immediately feel intimidated and humiliated. Ugh. There is also someone trailing behind him. It looks like one of my classmates. The more I think, the more I realize that Leo isn't the only anomaly I've come across while on campus. There are other things that seem off as well. It's becoming clearer now. There are people who shouldn't exist, students that mysteriously vanish. The fabric of reality is coming unraveled. Don't turn away now. What is the truth? Don't turn away now. What defies the world you know? Don't turn away now. There's a reason why you are here. Come. Do not allow yourself to close your eyes to the truth. And the list shall continue on. So, just as a note, I like the first few episodes. Well, I believe I recorded this with the newest updates for this, but at one point I recorded it with Direct 3D 9, since this is emulated, but this is being recorded with Direct 3D 11, so it looks a lot nicer. And I'll go into a little bit of something funny about the two when I actually get out of this introduction part. Leo and one of the guys from my class are talking in the hallway up ahead. Ugh. The attention to detail is quite impressive. Even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that is the case, this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. How about you guys? What are your thoughts on this? You guys? It feels for a moment, it feels as if he is including me in his comment. However, Leo begins speaking to my classmate, seemingly oblivious to my presence. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. Leo gives me a smile with no hostility. However, I have the suspicion that there is something malicious behind his smile. Attending the school wasn't half bad. I've never had the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I do not come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to the appointed path. And for me, the time to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell. No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell would be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have the distinct feeling that we'll see each other again. So I guess I should use the more congenial see you later. Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. Okay, my foot is like getting tired because it's under the laptop, so. Leo said as much, even going so far as to look in my direction. For some inexplicable reason, I'm not surprised that Leo knew I was spying on him. I am trying to get things straightened out in my mind when Leo suddenly disappears. The student who was following him also disappears after touching the same spot in the wall. At the same moment he vanishes, my vision distorts and the shot threatens to overwhelm me. What is going on here? I wonder if this place is the source of my unease. Like him, I place my hand on the wall expecting to be drawn in. I see now that the way to the truth, to why I have these feelings begins right here. I want to know. The atmosphere changes. There's a doorway, an entrance, where the concrete wall used to be. It's not something of this world. There's no doubt this door leads to someplace unfathomable. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step towards the truth. An entrance to another world. Beyond this door, the previous statement perfectly describes the view before me. Walking behind me is my strange, silent attendant. It is to be my sword and shield for what lies ahead. A disembodied voice suddenly confirms my thoughts. Although I have yet to learn anything, I need to do something besides stand here. At the very least, there might be some clues to this bizarre experience up ahead. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only the strange doll as protection. Oh my god. So I'm going to mute myself. Just the reason why I'm muting myself, so you can take in this beginning half. This is amazing. No longer a typical school campus. The floors and walls, the air, even the aura are slightly off. It wouldn't surprise me to see a monster pop out from the shadows. It's very much like a dungeon here. Welcome, potential master. With a shocking suddenness, a voice begins speaking. It sounds like it's coming from the empty sky above. If you are looking for answers, you must reach the goal. Now, please step forward. And we shall. Let's walk on forward. The illuminated cube in front of you is called an item folder. Inside of it is a farewell present for sorts, for those about to face the coming trial. Touch it to open it. And what do? We walk up to it and press X. We got an ether shard. That is a healing item, which I didn't explain this in my other playthrough, but whatever. Before you is an enemy program. It is a program to attack on sight. Touching it will initiate a battle. But you won't actually fight as you are too fragile. The effigy given to you will fight in your stead. If your effigy is ever destroyed in battle, you will no longer be shielded from harm. To put it bluntly, you will die. So be very careful in battle. But there's no need to be afraid, for now. Just do what I say, and you'll be perfectly safe for the time being. First off, why don't I explain a little bit about battles? First of all, there are 3 basic commands that you can issue in battle. Attack, guard, and break. Each turn in battle is composed of 6 actions, and you'll need to tell your effigy what your strategy is to be. Battles are divided into 6 turns, with 6 commands being each turn. When you confirm them, they'll all be executed at once. And they literally mean at once. That's important. The enemy before you should be quite easy to defeat, as it will only perform break. Break, which is focused solely on power, shouldn't be much of a problem against attack. Now, use the attack command to destroy the program. You press the directional buttons to choose a command, you press X to confirm the selection, and then up to 6, and then blah blah blah, up to 6 direct commands, and blah blah blah. Whatever. Ooh, excuse me. I just ate a little bit ago, so all you do, press up, and mash the fuck out of the X button. So, how did it go? One thing to know is that in each turn, you'll have to plan a series of 6 moves that will defeat your foe. The goal is still far ahead. If you must bask in the afterglow of your victory, do so while moving forward. Break beats attack. So, basically this game is like a glorified rock, paper, scissors. And for some reason, I really like that aspect about this game. Even though it's very simple. I just don't know why. Also, this area looks really nice, despite the fact that there's some obvious 2D graphics in the background. The little bit of 3D, actually pretty nice. Anyways, let's move on ahead. Oh look, here comes another program. You seem nervous. Perhaps you're anxious about fighting in another battle. Do not be alarmed. That enemy isn't strong enough to harm you. It is only programmed to use attack. While attack is a potent action, using guard will allow you to defend and counterattack. Guard can be used to reduce damage caused by an enemy attack, but I trust you know this. Guard will block attack. Guard means attack, basically. Now that you know how this battle will unfold, use the appropriate command to defeat the enemy program. So, the block guard is also used for other things as well, and you'll see what those are later. Anyways, but I've been playing FedEx CCC while also playing this game, mainly while I've been waiting for my videos to convert, because with OBS I have to record an FLV and then have to convert those to MP3 or MP4 so I can edit those. To my liking. Sometimes it's easier said than done to do that. Yes, that's exactly right. As you may have already noticed, performing 3 successful actions in a row will result in a chain. By performing multiple chain actions, you can perform a devastating follow-up attack on your opponent. 3 strikes in a row will give you an extra move. While doing multiple chain attacks in the heat of battle may be difficult, the results make it worth the effort. Now please proceed. So I will explain the growth of Caster in a bit later, because she is completely different to the other 2 servants that you get to pick in this game. One of them being Saber, and the other one is Archer. Because this game's been out for 6 years, and people should know already. You should be used to the fundamentals of battle at this point, but I'll walk you through this one last time. This program will only use guard and do nothing in battle but defend against harm. But no matter how stout one's defense may be, it will be not against the break command. You can shatter enemies' guard while using the break command. Break gates guard. Remember, always use the appropriate command for any given situation. So, if you ever forget how the weaknesses work, they actually show it to you here. Attack overcomes break, break overcomes guard, and guard overcomes attack. So they have a little bit of a trinity here. And for the most part, well, actually the part will be explained in a moment. So I cannot tell you the amount of times I keep pressing circle well, I guess on my controller it would be B, because I'm using a 360 controller for this. I cannot tell you the amount of times I keep hitting B to confirm, because I've been playing CCC, and it's gonna annoy me this entire time. Anyways, so I have to convert the videos into FFLV format, then edit them, then convert them a second time with my edits in it, so I can, and then upload them, and then I can upload them to YouTube. This is a huge problem because the original first three parts, and the first 3 parts of Sabers, all have this issue of my microphone being too loud, so I decreased it, and that's what you're currently hearing right now. Anyway, you have been through 3 battles and have used the attack, guard, and break commands. Someone as intuitive and observant as you must have already noticed this. Each of the 3 attacks balances each other out, creating a situation where no attack is dominant. So yes, they have an immutable relationship to one another because one is not stronger than the other. As much as it feels like break can be stronger than attack if you somehow get them, if you stun an enemy's action for one of the actions for the enemy for 1 turn. It feels like break should be stronger, but no, it doesn't matter. It's weird. All of the enemy hold on. All the enemy programs you've faced so far only used 1 move, which won't happen in a real fight. Like you, your enemy will choose their actions based on the situation and give general observation. Their actions will be very difficult for you to predict at first. As you face the same enemy multiple times, you will be able to read their tendencies and patterns accurately. So obviously this game would be way too easy if it would just show you the patterns right off the bat. So what they do is they hide the patterns, and then from that you have to try to make guesses. Although considering your lack of fighting experience, I may be expecting far too much from you. But anyway, please try your best. So like the enemy's doing perfect guard. So what you do is attack, break, attack, break. Because in a game, these are how simple some of the commands are. Just that simple. So yeah. I will explain something, because there are some dialogue changes not with Saber, but specifically with Caster and Archer that change depending on what gender you are. There are a few little dialogue options, and that's kind of funny. Good job. Alright then. Please proceed to the final room. And which is this way. And we are heading to the final room. Got it itchy. I made it. At the very end of a long road, after going through a door that suddenly appeared in the wall, the oppressive air of this place where the spirits of the dead still linger. Here's my goal. At least that's what I thought. Further in, it appears as if someone had collapsed. When I look into his face, it's the student who was following Leo just now. I call out to him, but get no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake him up when I notice he is stone cold. I go pale as the corpse before me, and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment the fallen effigy lying next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. After having to fight several enemy programs to get here, it's obvious that this thing is an enemy as well. Without warning, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me. this is scripted. No matter how well you do, it is scripted that you lose. So you can just go all the time. Although I have seen when someone at least get the other effigy at half health. Okay, we're dead. So that's a thing. Well, GG. You seem to be lacking as well. I can hear the sound of a distant voice. The time has come. For your inevitable loss, I will consider this round of preliminaries to be over. Farewell. I pray you'll find peace in your annihilation. That is the voice's final words to me. I don't have the power to protest. All I can do is stare at the floor. I think I'm going to die here. Suddenly, at the edge of my now hazy vision, a number of brown-colored lumps seemed to rise from the ground. Actually, it might be that I just noticed them now. They may have been there from the beginning for all I know. Those lumps are the bodies of an untold number of fallen Tsukimihara Academy students. The guy before me wasn't the only one to fall. All of the others made it here and died, unable to do anything. And in a very short while, I suppose I'll become one of them. Maybe I should just close my eyes now. I did all that I could, so maybe it'd be better for it to end now. So, picking the top option results in a dead end, meaning this is the second part where you can get a game over. The first was in that prologue part, where you just go back home and that's a game over. This is another game over, so let's just say I refuse to give up. I refuse to give up. I summon all my strength in an attempt to get back on my feet. However, as I try to move, an unbearably intense pain shoots through my entire body. If that's how it's going to be. No, if this is... Again, bad end. I still refuse to give up. I don't want it to end like this. I cannot ignore the intense pain coursing through my body. I've reached a point where I can no longer see stars as my eyes feel like they're on fire. I feel like all 5 of my senses are being ripped from my body. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the pain. I'm afraid of losing my senses. I'm afraid of becoming a corpse. And the most terrifying thing, disappearing without a trace for any reason at all. It's not right that I disappear here. My consciousness, shot through with waves of distortion, screams out against the injustice of it all. What was the poor purpose of suffering through those headaches just to fade away here and now? What were they all for if I just fade away here and now? I have to stand up. It's okay if I'm scared. It's okay if I'm in pain. I have to rise above all that. Because I have yet to fight for my own volition on my own terms. And on my own terms.
その魂、ちょっと待った。しばらく。